Los Angeles buzzes with life. The sun shines over glass skyscrapers and the streets hum with traffic. In a sleek apartment downtown, Logan Hayes stands by a floor-to-ceiling window. He's 35, sharply dressed in a tailored suit, his dark hair neatly combed. As CEO of Horizon Media, he runs one of the city's top media companies. His days are filled with meetings, contracts, and campaigns that shape trends across the country. But behind the polished exterior, Logan is a man alone. 2 years ago, his longtime girlfriend walked out, leaving him with a quiet apartment and a heart he's locked away. Work became his refuge, his shield. Now, he needs a new personal assistant to keep his chaotic schedule in check. He's told his HR team to find someone organized, professional, no nonsense. Across town, Natalie Brooks sits in a cluttered studio apartment. She's 28, with curly brown hair, tied in a messy bun, wearing jeans and a faded t-shirt. Papers and camera gear scatter around her. Natalie's a filmmaker, an indie dreamer chasing a vision. Her short film about a lonely CEO finding purpose is almost done, but she's broke. She needs funding to finish it. A friend jokingly suggested pitching it to a big shot like Logan Hayes, but Natalie has a bolder plan. She's faked a resume claiming assistant experience and landed an interview at Horizon Media. If she can get close to Logan, maybe she'll find a way to ask for help. It's risky, but she's desperate. The morning of the interview arrives. Natalie steps into the gleaming lobby of Horizon Media's headquarters. She's nervous, clutching a cheap coffee cup she grabbed on the way. Her blouse is wrinkled, her shoes scuffed, but she's here. An HR assistant leads her to the staff break room to wait. It's a cozy space with a fridge, a sink, and an old coffee machine on the counter. The assistant says someone will fetch her soon, then leave. Natalie sets her cup down and eyes the machine. She's still jittery, so why not grab more coffee? She presses a button, expecting a smooth pour. Instead, the machine sputters. A jet of hot coffee shoots out, splashing her chest. She yelps, jumping back. Her white blouse is soaked, brown stains spreading fast. Panic sets in. The coffee's hot, stinging her skin. She can't meet a CEO looking like this. Thinking she's alone, she unbuttons her blouse and pulls it off, revealing a thin gray tank top underneath. The wet fabric clings to her, but it's better than a dripping mess. She grabs a stack of napkins from the counter, wiping frantically at her chest and arms. The door swings open. Logan Hayes walks in, holding an empty water glass. He freezes mid-step. Natalie spins around, still clutching her soggy blouse, and lets out a scream. Napkins fly everywhere as she tries to cover herself. Logan's glass slips, clattering to the floor. His face turns red. "Are you okay?" he stammers, averting his eyes. Natalie's mortified. "I didn't mean to interview like this," she blurts, pulling her blouse back on, buttons misaligned. Logan stares at the ceiling, clearly flustered. "I didn't mean to hire someone like this," he mutters, then catches himself. I was just getting water." Papers litter the floor, coffee drips from the counter, and the machine whirs mockingly behind them. Natalie's cheeks burn. She expects him to call security, but Logan bends down, picking up his glass. "What happened here?" he asks, voice steadying. She points at the machine. "It attacked me. I swear I'm not usually this clumsy." Logan raises an eyebrow. He's used to polished professionals, not chaos like this. But something about her honesty, her wide-eyed panic, sticks with him. The HR assistant pokes her head in. "Miss Brooks, interview time." Natalie fumbles to fix her blouse, still damp and stained. Logan watches her, a flicker of amusement in his eyes. "Good luck," he says, stepping aside. She nods, tripping over a napkin as she hurries out. Logan shakes his head, but a smile tugs at his lips. He doesn't know it yet, but this clumsy girl just spilled her way into his life. The interview room is down the hall. Natalie sits across from an HR manager, smoothing her hair, trying to look composed. She's sure she's blown it, but back in the break room, Logan picks up a stray napkin, replaying the moment. He's seen a lot in his career, but never anything like this. His phone buzzes, a text from HR. "Candidate list for assistant. Thoughts?" He types back, Bring the coffee girl in again. He doesn't know why. Maybe it's the mess she made, or the way she didn't back down. Either way, Natalie Brooks is about to get a second chance. The interview room at Horizon Media feels like a spotlight. Natalie Brooks sits across from Sarah, the HR manager, a stern woman with a clipboard. Natalie's blouse is still damp, buttons crooked from her rushed fix after the coffee disaster. She fidgets, expecting rejection. Sarah adjusts her glasses. "Tell me why you'd be a good fit for Mr. Hayes's assistant," she says, voice flat. Natalie takes a breath. "I'm creative, I think fast, and I'm not afraid of a mess. That coffee machine? Total chaos. But I handled it." Sarah scribbles something, unimpressed. Natalie's stomach sinks. She's sure she's out. Down the hall, Logan Hayes sits in his corner office. Glass walls frame a view of Los Angeles, papers stacked neatly on his desk. He's still thinking about the break room. That girl, all flustered and napkin-covered, was a far cry from the polished resumes he'd seen. His phone buzzes. Sarah's email pops up with candidate notes. Logan skims it, then stops at Natalie Brooks. Creative, unconventional, coffee incident. He leans back, tapping his pen. She's a risk, but Horizon needs fresh ideas for a big campaign. He emails back. Hire her. Trial run. Sarah replies instantly. Are you sure? Logan hesitates, then types, yes. 2 days later, Natalie walks into Horizon Media again. Her first day. She's got a new blouse, blue and crisp, but her sneakers squeak on the polished floor. Sarah hands her a tablet with Logan's schedule. Don't mess this up, she warns, then leaves. Natalie stares at the screen. Meetings, calls, deadlines. It's a puzzle, but she's determined. She finds Logan's office, knocks lightly. He looks up from his laptop. "Miss Brooks," he says, voice cool. "You're here," she nods, holding out the tablet. "I've color-coded your week. Blue for meetings, red for urgent stuff." Logan blinks. "Color-coded?" She grins. "Makes it pop." He studies the screen. It's odd but clear. He nods. "Fine. Coffee's next. Black, no sugar." Natalie heads to the break room, eyeing the machine warily. This time she grabs a pre-made pot, adds a dash of cinnamon from her bag. She's not sure why, just a hunch. Back in his office, she sets the mug down. Logan sips, pauses. "This isn't black," she tenses. "I added a little cinnamon. Thought it'd wake you up." He stares at her, then takes another sip. "Not bad," he mutters. She exhales, relieved. Days turn into weeks. Natalie settles in, bringing chaos and charm. She reorganizes Logan's files with sticky notes in neon colors. She pitches a wild ad idea during a team meeting, sketching it on a napkin when the projector fails. The staff laugh, but Logan sees potential. He starts relying on her quirks. One morning, he finds a coffee mug with a smiley face drawn on it. "Your work?" he asks. She shrugs. "Thought you needed a smile." He doesn't reply, but the mug stays on his desk. Logan's walls crack, just a little. He's used to silence, control. Natalie's noise fills gaps he didn't know were there. Late one night, they're alone in the office, rushing a campaign pitch. Papers litter the desk, takeout boxes piled up. Natalie grabs a marker, doodles on Logan's draft. A stick figure CEO juggling flaming torches. "That's you," she says, laughing. He smirks, the first real smile she's seen. "Terrible art," he says, but keeps the paper. She scribbles notes for her film later, inspired by that smile, his quiet intensity. She doesn't tell him. Their rhythm builds. Natalie's phone buzzes one afternoon while she's sorting emails. She steps out, leaving it on the desk. Logan glances over, not meaning to pry. The screen lights up. A text from her friend Mia. "How's the film going?" "Don't let Logan know yet." He frowns. "Film? What film?" He's about to ask when she returns, snatching the phone. "Spam," she lies, voice too quick. Logan lets it slide, but suspicion lingers. What's she hiding? The next week, they're at a client lunch. Natalie spills sauce on her napkin, then uses it to sketch a logo tweak the client loves. Logan watches, impressed. Back at the office, he calls her in. "You're good at this," he says. "Why assistant work?" She hesitates. "I like creating things. This job, it's a step." He nods, sensing more but not pushing. That night, alone, she writes in her notebook, "Logan's eyes when he's thinking, lonely but alive. Perfect for my CEO." She's falling for him bit by bit, but her secret weighs heavier. Friday comes. Logan's in a meeting. Natalie's at his desk, fixing a calendar glitch. Her phone buzzes again, face up. Another text from Mia. "Film's almost done. Pitch it soon." Logan walks in, sees it before she can grab it. "What's this about a film?" he asks, tone sharp. Natalie freezes. "Just a hobby," she says, shoving the phone in her pocket. He crosses his arms. "Hobby or not, I don't like secrets." She swallows hard. "It's nothing, really." He lets it go, but his trust wavers. They keep working, late hours blending into quiet moments. One night, the power flickers. Natalie trips over a cord, lands in Logan's chair. He catches her arm, steadying her. They're close, too close. Her breath catches. His hand lingers, then pulls back. "Careful," he says, voice low. She nods, heart racing. She's not just here for the film anymore. She likes him, his rare laughs, his steady gaze. But her lie sits between them, growing. Monday morning, Natalie's late. She rushes in, hair wild, carrying coffee. Logan's already at his desk. "Rough start?" he asks. She grins. "Always." He takes the coffee, sips. "Cinnamon again." "You're consistent," he says. She laughs. "Good or bad?" He doesn't answer, but his eyes soften. She's changing him, slowly. He doesn't see the storm coming. Neither does she. Her notebook fills up. Logan's voice when he's tired, soft but strong. She's building her film around him, not just for funding, but because he's her muse. She doesn't know someone else is watching. Jake Miller, her old rival, follows her on social media. He sees her Horizon posts, her late-night office pics. He smirks, plotting. Natalie's secret isn't safe. Logan's trust isn't either. The coffee girl's about to spill more than a drink. Los Angeles hums under a golden afternoon sun. Inside Horizon Media, Natalie Brooks sits at her desk outside Logan's office. Her blue blouse is wrinkled from a long day, her hair slipping from its bun. She's typing up notes from a meeting, her notebook open beside her. Scribbled lines about Logan fill the page. His hands when he gestures, confident but restless. She smiles, lost in thought. Her film's taking shape, and he's the heart of it. She's almost ready to pitch it to him, but not yet. She needs the perfect moment. Logan steps out, loosening his tie. He's 35, still sharp in his suit, but fatigue shows in his eyes. "Natalie, you're with me tomorrow. Client pitch downtown," he says. She nods, tapping the tablet. Added it, red for urgent. He glances at her setup, the neon sticky notes on her desk. "You're a mess, but it works," he says. She grins. "Mess is my superpower." He almost smiles, then heads back in. She watches him go, her chest tightening. She's falling harder, and it scares her. Her secret feels heavier every day. Across town, Jake Miller sits in a cramped apartment. He's 30, lean and scruffy, with sharp eyes and a laptop glowing in the dim light. Jake's a filmmaker too, but his dreams are fueled by envy. He and Natalie crossed paths at indie film contests years ago. She won awards. He didn't. Now he scrolls her Instagram, smirking at photos of her at Horizon Media. Late-night office shots, coffee cups, a caption living the dream. He knows she's up to something. He's been digging, piecing it together. She's after funding, and he wants in. The next day, Natalie meets Logan at a sleek downtown cafe. Clients in suits sit across from them, pitching a new ad campaign. Natalie scribbles notes, then spills ketchup on her napkin. She laughs, turning it into a quick sketch of their logo idea. The clients love it. Logan watches, impressed again. On the walk back, he says, "You're quick on your feet." She shrugs. "Have to be when you're clumsy." He nods, a rare softness in his voice. "It's growing on me." She blushes, clutching her notebook tighter. That evening, Natalie stops at an indie coffee shop near her place. She's sipping an iced latte, reviewing her film script on her laptop. The door chimes. Jake Miller walks in, spotting her instantly. He slides into the seat across from her, uninvited. "Hey, Nat," he says, voice smooth. She tenses. "Jake, what do you want?" He leans forward, smirking. "Saw you're cozy at Horizon. What's the game? Funding?" Her stomach drops. "It's just a job," she lies. He laughs. "Sure, tell Logan the truth, or I will." Natalie's mind races. Jake's a snake, always has been. If he talks, she's done. "There's nothing to tell," she says, standing. He grabs her wrist. "I'll find out, and I'll beat you to it." She pulls free, glaring. "Stay out of my life." She storms out, heart pounding. Back home she paces. She can't let Jake ruin this. Logan's trust is fragile, and her film's too close to risk. She needs a plan. Monday morning, Natalie's back at Horizon. Logan's in a meeting, so she's sorting his emails. Her phone buzzes. A text from Jake. "Nice pics. Horizon's fancy." She deletes it, hands shaking. She has to keep him quiet. That afternoon, Logan calls her in. "Everything okay?" he asks, noticing her fidgeting. She forces a smile. "Yeah, just tired." He doesn't push, but his eyes linger. Later, they're outside the building, grabbing coffee from a truck. Jake appears, leaning against a lamppost, watching. Natalie freezes. Logan follows her gaze. "Who's that?" he asks. She panics. "Jake, we used to date. It's nothing now," she says, voice tight. Logan's jaw tightens. He doesn't look like nothing. Jake waves, smirking, then walks off. Natalie's lie sinks in. She hates it, but it buys her time. Logan's quiet on the way back. That night he stares out his apartment window, replaying her words. Used to date. He shouldn't care, but he does. He sees them talking again the next day outside Horizon. Jake's too close, Natalie's tense. Logan turns away, a knot in his chest. Jake's not done. He's been tailing her online, digging deeper. He finds an old email account of hers, one she forgot to secure. A weak password, Film Dreams 123, lets him in. He scrolls, eyes lighting up. Drafts of her script, notes about a CEO, funding plans, jackpot. He downloads it all, grinning. He'll use this, claim it as his own. Natalie's too naive, he thinks. She won't see it coming. Wednesday, Logan assigns Natalie a big project. "New client pitch, lead the creative," he says, voice clipped. She nods, sensing his distance. "You sure I'm right for this?" she asks. He looks at her, eyes hard. "Prove it." She dives in, crafting a bold ad on her laptop. Late that night, she's alone in the office, perfecting it. Logan walks by, sees her hunched over, hair falling in her face. He pauses, softening. "Don't stay too late," he says. She smiles. "Worth it for you." He leaves, conflicted. The pitch goes flawlessly. Clients cheer Natalie's work. Logan congratulates her, but his tone's cool. "Good job," he says, then walks off. She's confused, hurt. Back at her desk, her phone buzzes. Jake again. "Nice gig, won't last." She slams it down, fear rising. She's in too deep. Her lie about Jake twists tighter. Logan's pulling away, and she doesn't know why. Friday night. They're working late again. Logan's tired, tie off. Natalie brings him coffee, cinnamon-laced. "You're quiet," she says. He shrugs. "Just work." She sits across from him, doodling on a napkin. "This is us," she says, drawing two stick figures, one with a tie, one spilling coffee. He chuckles, a real laugh. "You're ridiculous," he says. She grins. "You like it." He doesn't deny it. Their hands brush as she hands him the napkin. Time slows. She wants to tell him everything, but fear stops her. Jake's apartment glows with his laptop screen. He's editing Natalie's script, swapping her name for his. He emails it to a local indie event, locking in a slot. He texts her. "See you soon, Nat." She doesn't reply, but dread creeps in. Logan's laugh echoes in her mind, fragile and rare. She's built something with him, but Jake's about to tear it down. Her clumsy start was just the beginning. Now her whole world's at stake. The Los Angeles skyline glitters under a twilight haze. Inside Horizon Media, Natalie Brooks sits at her desk, her laptop open to her film script. It's late, the office quiet except for the hum of her typing. Her curly hair falls loose, her blue blouse untucked after a long day. She's tweaking the ending. A CEO finds peace in chaos. It's Logan, every line of him, from his rare smiles to his tired eyes. She's proud, but terrified. Jake's threat looms larger each day. She hasn't heard from him since his last text, but the silence feels worse. Logan Hayes steps out of his office, jacket off, sleeves rolled up. He's 35, still carrying the weight of Horizon on his shoulders. He sees Natalie, hunched over her screen. "Still here?" he asks, voice softer than usual. She looks up, startled. "Finishing something," she says, closing the laptop fast. He nods, lingering. "You've been off lately. Everything okay?" She forces a smile. "Just busy." He doesn't buy it, but lets it go. "Get some rest," he says, heading out. She watches him leave, guilt gnawing at her. Her lie about Jake sits like a stone in her chest. Across town, Jake Miller paces his apartment. His laptop glows with Natalie's stolen script, now branded with his name. He's 30, scruffy and smug, fueled by spite. He's locked in a slot at the Indie Spotlight, a local film event tomorrow night. He's invited Logan, posing as a fellow creator via email. "Come see my work. Horizon might like it." Jake grins, imagining Natalie's face when it all crashes down. He doesn't care about her film. He wants her out, and Logan's trust shattered. Saturday evening arrives. Natalie's at home, a tiny studio cluttered with film gear. She's sipping tea, scrolling Instagram, trying to relax. A post catches her eye. Indie Spotlight lineup. Her stomach drops. Untitled CEO story. Jake Miller stares back at her. She chokes, tea spilling. It's her film. He stole it. She checks her email, finds a hack login alert from days ago. Her password, too simple, betrayed her. She grabs her phone, hands shaking, but stops. What can she say? Jake's won. The event's at a small theater downtown. Jake stands in the lobby, chatting up attendees, his stolen script loaded on a USB. Logan arrives, alone, in a dark coat. He's curious, not expecting much. Jake spots him, smirking. "Mr. Hayes, glad you made it," he says, shaking his hand. Logan nods. "You said it's worth my time?" Jake grins. "You'll see." The lights dim, the crowd settles. Natalie's nowhere near, still reeling at home. She doesn't know Logan's there. The screen flickers. Jake's voice narrates. A CEO lost in his empire finds light in the dark. Scenes unfold, rough but familiar. A man in a suit, alone in a glass office. A spilled coffee cup, a laugh breaking silence. Logan leans forward. It's him, his life, his moments. The film cuts to a montage. Late nights, a doodle on a napkin, a hand brushing another. He remembers Natalie, her quirks, her warmth. His jaw tightens. How does Jake know this? The credits roll. Written and directed by Jake Miller. Applause scatters through the room. Logan stands, face hard. Jake takes the stage, basking in it. Logan cuts through the crowd, voice low but sharp. "Where'd you get that?" Jake shrugs. "My idea. Inspired by life." Logan's eyes narrow. "That's my life. And hers." "You mean Natalie? She's just a muse." Logan grabs his arm. "Explain, now." Monday morning, Horizon Media buzzes. Natalie walks in, pale and quiet. She spent the weekend piecing it together, knowing Jake's betrayal is out. Logan's waiting, arms crossed, outside his office. Staff whisper, sensing tension. He doesn't wait. "Break room, now," he says. She follows, dread pooling. The room's empty, the coffee machine's silent. He shuts the door. "I saw a film last night, about me. Jake's name on it," he starts, voice cold. Natalie's breath catches. "What?" He steps closer. "Don't play dumb. Every detail, every moment." You worked here to feed him my life? She shakes her head, tears welling. No, Logan, it's mine. I wrote it. Jake stole it. He scoffs. Stole it? You expect me to believe that? You lied about dating him. She flinches. I lied to keep him quiet. He threatened me. I came here for funding, yes, but the film's mine, about you. Because, she stops, voice breaking. Because you matter to me. Logan's silent, processing. You used me, he says, flat. No, she pleads. I didn't mean to hurt you, I swear. He pulls a folded paper from his pocket, her napkin doodle of them. This was real, he asks. She nods, crying. All of it. He stares at her, then turns. You're done here, leave, she gasps. Logan, please. He walks out, door slamming. Natalie gathers her things, tears streaming. She stops at her desk, pulls out her script, the original. She writes on it, I never wanted to hurt you. She leaves it there, walks away. Logan finds it later, alone in his office. He reads, hands trembling. Jake's smirk flashes in his mind. Then Natalie's eyes, wide and honest. Doubt creeps in. Outside, Natalie sits on a bench, staring at nothing. Her phone buzzes. Jake, told you I'd win. She deletes it, numb. Her dreams gone, her heart too. At Horizon, Logan's phone lights up. A rival company's tweet. Horizon's CEO in a flop film? Weak. Jake's stunt leaked, twisting the knife. Logan slams his desk. His company's mocked, his trust broken. The news spreads. Staff murmur, clients call. Logan paces, the script in hand. Natalie's words echo, you matter to me. He wants to believe her, but the sting's too fresh. She's gone and he's alone again. Jake's victory lap continues. He posts online, big thanks to Horizon for the inspo. Logan sees it, fury rising. Natalie's out there, broken. He's here, doubting. The climax hits hard and the fallout's just begun. Los Angeles wakes to a gray dawn. Horizon Media's office feels colder without Natalie Brooks. Her desk sits empty, neon sticky notes still clinging to the edges. Logan Hayes stands in his glass-walled office, staring at the city below. He's 35, suit crisp, but his face is drawn. Her script rests on his desk, her note scrawled across it. I never wanted to hurt you. He read it last night, again this morning. Each time, it cuts deeper. He wants to believe her, but trust is a jagged edge. Jake's betrayal, her lie, the film. It's a mess he can't untangle. The office hums with unease. Staff whisper about the weekend's drama. Logan's phone buzzes nonstop. Clients asking about the flop film tweet. A rival's jab gone viral. He ignores it, but the pressure builds. Horizon's reputation teeters, and he feels it slipping. He picks up Natalie's script, flipping through. Her words paint him, a man in a suit, alone, then alive with coffee spills and napkin doodles. It's not just him. There's her too. Her struggle, her family's rejection for chasing films. He pauses. She didn't just use him. She saw herself in him. Across town, Natalie sits in her cluttered studio. Her eyes are red, hair a mess. Film gear gathers dust around her. She's 28, but feels older today. Her phone's off, Jake's taunts silenced. She lost everything, her job, her dream, Logan. She pulls a blanket tight, replaying his words. You're done here. She deserved it, she thinks. Lying was stupid, but losing him hurts more than losing the film. She grabs her laptop, opens the script. It's useless now. She deletes it, tears falling. Logan's day drags. Meetings blur, coffee tastes flat without her cinnamon twist. He finds her smiley mug, abandoned in the break room. He grips it, memory flashing. Her tripping, laughing, filling his silence. He sets it down, hard. Sarah, the HR manager, knocks. Clients are spooked. That film's a PR mess, she says. He nods. Handle it. She hesitates. You okay? He's empty. Night falls. Natalie's friend Mia calls, voicemail piling up. Nat, don't give up. You're better than Jake. Natalie ignores it. She posts on Instagram. Last screening tomorrow. Then I'm done. It's a small studio event, her final goodbye to filmmaking. She can't fight anymore. She curls up, clutching a pillow, whispering, "I'm sorry, Logan." She doesn't know he's crumbling too. Logan's apartment is dark, city lights flickering outside. He pours a drink, stares at her script. Her note haunts him. He opens his laptop, finds her Instagram. Her post hits him. Last screening. He scrolls her feed, old pics of her at Horizon. One shows her laughing, coffee in hand, him blurry in the back. She captioned it, "Best chaos ever." His chest tightens. She meant it. He slams the laptop shut, pacing. Jake's smirk, her tears. They clash in his mind. Tuesday morning, Horizon's quiet. Logan's in early, avoiding eyes. He Googles the indie spotlight, finds Jake's smug post. "Thanks for the boost, Horizon." Comments mock Logan. CEO can't keep a secret. He clenches his fists. Then he searches Natalie's name. An old article pops up. Her first film, a tiny win. Her family calling it a waste. She fought for this. He didn't see it before. He grabs her script, rereads. It's not betrayal. It's her heart. That night, he's restless. He drives, no plan, ending up at a dive bar near downtown. Jake's there, laughing with buddies, beer in hand. Logan walks in, spots him. "Miller," he says, voice low. Jake turns, grin fading. "Hayes, enjoy my film?" Logan steps close. "It's hers. You stole it." Jake shrugs. "Prove it." Logan grabs his collar. "How'd you get it?" Jake smirks. "Her email." She's sloppy. Logan's fist flies, connecting with Jake's jaw. Jake stumbles, swearing. "You're done," Logan says, pulling the USB from Jake's pocket. "This ends now." Bar patrons stare, but Logan's gone, USB in hand. He drives to the studio from Natalie's post. It's a rundown spot, neon sign flickering. Inside, a dozen people sit on folding chairs. Natalie's on a stool, pale, her film playing. It's rough, unpolished, but hers. The CEO smiles at the end, a moment from their late-night laugh. She chokes up, voice breaking. "This is my last story. Thanks for coming." The screen fades. Sparse claps echo. Logan stands at the back, unseen. Her words hit him. "My last story." He sees her wipe her eyes, shoulders slumped. The film's not Jake's polished theft. It's raw, real. He clutches the USB, Jake's confession ringing, her email. She didn't lie about that. He steps forward, then stops. She's leaving, bag in hand. He follows her out, heart racing. Outside, the air's cool. Natalie trudges to her car, head down. Logan calls Natalie. She freezes, turning. He's there, script in one hand, USB in the other. "I saw it," he says. She blinks. "What?" He holds up the script. "Your film, not his." She shakes her head. "Doesn't matter. You don't trust me." He steps closer. "I was wrong. I read this. It's us, not just me." She stares, tears welling. "I messed up? The lie, everything?" He nods. "Yeah, but I messed up too. I pushed you out." He hands her the USB. "Jake took this. I got it back." Her eyes widen. "How?" He rubs his knuckles, bruised from the punch. "Doesn't matter. What matters is you." She takes it, trembling. "Why?" He looks at her, voice soft. "Because you're not done, and neither am I." They stand there, city noise fading. She wipes her face. "I thought I lost you." He shakes his head. "You didn't." A small smile breaks through her tears. He feels it too, a shift. Jake's out there, bruised and beaten. Horizon's a mess, but here, something's waking up. Natalie's not gone. Logan's not alone. The crisis broke them, but it's building something new. The Los Angeles night wraps around the small studio, neon light flickering above Natalie Brooks and Logan Hayes. She's 28, standing by her beat-up car, clutching the USB Logan just handed her. Tears streak her face, her curly hair a mess. He's 35, suit rumpled, knuckles bruised from his clash with Jake. The script, her script, dangles in his other hand. City sounds hum in the distance, but here, It's just them. Natalie wipes her eyes, voice shaky. You really got this back? Logan nods, flexing his hand. Jake won't use it again. She stares at him, hope flickering. Inside the studio, the last attendees shuffle out. Natalie glances at the door, then back at Logan. Why'd you come? She asks. He steps closer, voice low. I saw your film, the real one, not his garbage. It's us, Natalie. I was wrong to push you away. She swallows, clutching the USB tighter. I lied to you about Jake, about why I was here. You had every right. He cuts her off. You lied. I overreacted. We're both a mess. A small laugh escapes her, bittersweet. Yeah, total mess. He holds out the script. This isn't a mess, it's good. You're good. She takes it, fingers brushing his. I thought you hated me, she whispers. He shakes his head. I hated losing you. Her breath catches. They stand there, inches apart, the weight of weeks lifting. She wipes her face again. What now? He looks at her, steady. Come back, not just for Horizon, for me. Her eyes widen. You mean it? He nods. I need you. We'll figure it out. She smiles, small but real. Okay, but no more secrets. He chuckles. Deal. No more punches either. She glances at his hand. You hit him. He shrugs. Had to. She laughs, a sound he's missed. My hero, she teases. He smirks. Don't get used to it. They linger, the air lighter. She steps closer, tentative. He doesn't pull back. For the first time, they feel solid. The next day, Horizon Media buzzes with tension. Logan's in early, calling a staff meeting. Natalie's there, back at her desk, neon notes in place. Staff gather, whispering about the film fiasco. Logan steps up, voice firm. You've seen the chatter. Jake Miller stole a project from one of ours. He's done. Murmurs ripple. He holds up the USB. This is the original. Natalie Brooks wrote it. He's a fraud. Sarah, the HR manager, nods. We're suing him. IP theft. Logan turns to Natalie. She's screening it tonight. Her work, not his. You're all invited. Eyes widen. Natalie blushes, clutching her laptop. It's rough, she says. Logan cuts in. It's real. That's enough. Staff clap, some cheer. She smiles, overwhelmed. Logan meets her gaze, a silent promise. He's fixing this. For her, for them. That night, the same studio fills up. Not just staff, but indie fans, curious locals. Natalie stands at the front, nervous but steady. Logan's in the crowd, arms crossed, watching her. She takes a breath. This is mine. Someone tried to take it, but I got it back, thanks to someone special. She nods at Logan. He looks away, embarrassed but proud. The lights dim. Her film plays. It's raw, unpolished, a CEO in a glass tower, isolated then alive with spills and sketches. The crowd laughs at the coffee bit, nods at the quiet moments. It ends with him smiling, a napkin doodle in hand. Applause erupts, louder than Jake's stolen show. Natalie steps up, voice cracking. It's about finding light in the chaos. Thanks for seeing it. People cheer. Logan claps, eyes locked on her. Outside, Jake Miller lurks, bruised jaw and all. He'd planned to crash it, but Logan's team blocked him. Security looms nearby. He slinks off, USB gone, reputation trashed. Inside, Natalie's swarmed with praise. A local producer approaches. Got a card? This could go places. She fumbles, then hands one over, stunned. Logan watches, a grin tugging at him. Later, they're alone in the studio. Chairs stack around them. Natalie turns to Logan. They liked it, she says, dazed. He nods. They should. It's you. She steps closer. It's us. I wouldn't have finished without you. He shrugs. I wouldn't have cared without you. She laughs, soft. So, I'm back at Horizon. He nods. And more, if you want. Her eyes search his. I do. He takes her hand, steady. Good. We're a team now. She squeezes back. A messy one. He chuckles. Best kind. They stand there, hands linked, the future open. Logan pulls out cash. Drinks? Celebrate. She grins. Only if I spill something. He laughs, loud and free. They head out, shoulder to shoulder. Weeks later, Horizon's back on track. The lawsuit hits Jake hard, his name mud. Natalie's film gets buzz. Logan funds it, quietly. They screen it officially at a downtown theater. Packed house, standing ovation. Natalie's name shines on the poster. Logan's beside her, proud. Critics call it raw, real, a gem. She whispers to him, "We did this." He nods. "Yeah, we did." The night ends at their coffee shop. Natalie's in jeans, Logan's tie loose. She orders lattes, spills a drop. He grabs a napkin, wiping it, smiling. "Still clumsy," he says. She leans in. "Still here?" He pulls her close, their first real touch beyond hands. "Good," he says, voice low. She spills again, on purpose. He laughs, wiping it off her shirt. "You're impossible," he says. She grins. "You love it." He doesn't deny it. They sit, coffee steaming, city lights glowing outside. Horizon's safe, Jake's out, the film's a hit. But this, them, it's the win. She doodles on a napkin, 2 stick figures, coffee cups raised. He adds a heart, clumsy but clear. She laughs. "Perfect," she says. He nods. "Perfect." Love didn't come clean or easy. It spilled, stumbled, fought through lies and theft. But it landed here, in a coffee shop, with a clumsy girl and a media CEO who learned to let go. They clink cups, a toast to chaos, to trust, to them. The screen fades, their laughter lingering. The Los Angeles skyline sparkles as night settles in. Inside a cozy coffee shop, Logan Hayes and Natalie Brooks sit across from each other. He's 35, tie loose, a faint smile softening his usually serious face. She's 28, curly hair spilling over her shoulders, a latte stain on her sleeve. The table between them holds 2 coffee cups, steam curling up, and a napkin with their doodle. 2 stick figures, a heart scratched in. The buzz of their film's success hums in the background. But here, it's just them, quiet and real. Logan leans back, sipping his coffee. He looks at Natalie, her eyes bright despite the chaos they've walked through. He thinks back to that first day, the break room, coffee splashing, her blouse off in a panic. He'd been rigid then, a man walled off by work and heartbreak. She stumbled in, all mess and laughter, and cracked him open. He sets his cup down, voice low. "I used to think everything had to be perfect, controlled. You changed that." Natalie tilts her head, grinning. "Me? I'm the opposite of perfect. I spill stuff, trip over cords, lie when I shouldn't." She pauses, tracing the rim of her cup. "But you stuck around. Why?" He meets her gaze, steady. "Because you're real. You don't hide the mess. You make it better." She blushes, looking down. "Even after Jake, the film?" He nods. "Especially after that. You fought for it, for us." She picks up the napkin, smiling at their drawing. "I thought love was supposed to be neat, like in movies. But this, us, it's coffee stains and stolen scripts and bruised knuckles." She laughs, soft. "It's better than neat." He takes her hand across the table. "Yeah, it's ours." She squeezes back, warmth spreading. They've built something, not just a film, but a bond that survived the spill. Logan thinks about Horizon, the chaos Jake caused, the lawsuits moving, Jake's name ruined. Clients came back, impressed by Natalie's raw talent. Her film's a hit, small but growing, a story of chaos finding light. He funded it, but she made it. He looks at her, proud. "You're not done, you know. More films, bigger ones." She shrugs. "Maybe. As long as you're there to catch me when I fall." He chuckles. "Always." The coffee shop hums around them, people chatting, cups clinking. Natalie sips her latte, spills a drop. Logan grabs a napkin, wiping it with a grin. "Still clumsy," he says. She leans in, playful. "Still here." He doesn't pull back. They've found their rhythm, imperfect but true. He used to chase control, she chased dreams. Now they chase each other, and it fits. Their story fades, but the message lingers. Logan's voice cuts in, calm and clear. I thought happiness was order, a plan. Natalie taught me it's not. It's the spills, the fights, the moments you don't see coming. Love's messy, and that's okay. It's what makes it real. The screen shifts, coffee shop blurring to black. Natalie's laugh echoes, then her voice. We're all clumsy sometimes. It's how you clean it up that counts. Text appears, bold and simple. Thanks for watching their story. Logan's face fades in, coffee mug in hand. Hey, it's Logan. Well, not really, but you get it. What did you think? Did we figure it out, me and Natalie? He pauses, smiling. She'd say yes, I'd say, mostly. Natalie pops in, nudging him. He loves me, mess and all, right? He rolls his eyes, laughing. Yeah, I do. She takes over, leaning close. So tell us, did you root for us? Did we beat Jake good enough? If you were me, would you forgive this guy? She points at Logan. He shrugs. I'd forgive me, eventually. She laughs. Leave your thoughts below. We want to hear it all. Did the coffee spill hook you? Did Jake's punch make you cheer? Spill it in the comments. Logan chimes in. And if you liked this, hit that like button. It's the little red heart down there. Takes 2 seconds, means a lot. Natalie nods. Subscribe too. Click that button. Join us. We've got more stories coming. Love, drama, maybe more coffee disasters. She winks. Turn on notifications. You won't miss a thing. Next time might be your story. They lean in together, cups raised. Thanks for sticking with us, Logan says. From the spill to the end, Natalie adds. They clink cups, coffee sloshing a bit. She gasps. He laughs, wiping it with his sleeve. See, still clumsy, he says. Still perfect, she replies.